Let us now understand how to write a chemical equation. In activity 1, what did we learn? That calcium oxide will react with water. What was the formula of calcium oxide? We have learned that it is a CaO. The formula of calcium oxide is CaO. We are just learning how to write a chemical equation, right? So chemical equation, in that one, first activity we are recapping. Calcium oxide is reacting with water and a new substance is formed. The new substance that is formed is calcium hydroxide. So calcium oxide is called as a reactant, right? Underline this. This all are for objective bits. The substance which undergo chemical change in a reaction are called reactants. Underline these points. Okay. New substance formed called products. Underline. A chemical reaction written in the form of word equation shows the change of reactants to products by an arrow mark. See this arrow we keep, right? That is what here is being told. Placed between them. The reactants are written on the left hand side. So what are these reactants? And final substances, or we call them as products. Where are they written? On the right hand side. Underline reactants, underline left hand side of the arrow, underline products, underline right hand side of the arrow. These points, when you underline, it will help you in preparation. If there are more than one product, how do we show them? We add plus sign. See here, calcium oxide plus water we have added, right? These are the basic things for a chemical reaction to represent a chemical equation in a chemical reaction. How to write a chemical reaction, right? A compound is written by giving its chemical formula. That is what we were doing. Calcium oxide means we always wrote CaO. We did not write it as calcium oxide in a words. So in a chemical equation, you are supposed to write a formula which lists the symbol of a constituent elements and uses the subscript to indicate number of atoms. If we are writing at the bottom of a element, that we call it as a subscripts. For example, let us write H2O. That means how many atoms are there here in this molecule? 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen is present. So when you are writing 2 or any number down here, we call it as subscript. It indicates what? Number of atoms. This all can be objective bits. Okay, number of atoms where we write as a subscript for that particular element. Underline the points that I am underlining. If no subscript is written, see here, for oxygen we did not write. We won't write here as O1. That is wrong. No need to write. If you write an element and if there is no symbol, that indicates that there are no other elements and only one element is present. If no subscript is written, the number 1 is understood. Thus, we can write calcium oxide as CaO, water as H2O, and the compound formed by the reaction of these two compounds is calcium hydroxide. So this is formed. What are these two reactants? So let us write the skeleton equation. Okay, equation which is not balanced yet. We call it as a skeletal equation. CaO plus H2O gives CaOH taken twice. What is CaOH taken twice? It is calcium hydroxide. Whenever we are balancing here, most of the times we do trial and error method. There are various methods in balancing equation. Most preferred one is the trial and error method. Okay, so we check and we keep on adding up the numbers to find out whether the equation is balanced or not, right? Now in the same manner, one more example is given here. Zinc plus HCl gives zinc chloride plus H2O, right? This also we try to understand. What are we writing here? Only symbol or chemical formula we are writing. And we talked about colorless solutions. What are they? Sodium sulfate and barium chloride. These are what? These are colorless solutions, and they are giving sodium sulfate reacts with barium chloride. So we already know, we have written the equation. What are the chemical formulas for sodium sulfate? Na2SO4 and BaCl2 for barium chloride. What did we learn? That these are colorless solution. So we have learned that they are colorless solutions. When they react, what do they give? Barium sulfate and sodium chloride, BaSO4 plus NaCl. These are the products that are formed, right? What is the color? It is white, right? Where did we learn? In our activity 2 we have learned. Let's understand this question, think and write. You have brushed the wall with an aqueous suspension of CaOH taken twice, calcium hydroxide. After 2 days, the wall turned to white color. Okay, calcium hydroxide. How is this formed? Here in this equation, we have learned that CaOH CaO plus H2O gives CaOH taken twice, right? Now this particular solution, when you are applying it on the wall and allowing it to dry, what is happening? It is giving a shiny finish. So what is the chemical reaction that is taking place, right? That we have to write down. Write a balanced chemical reaction for the above changes using appropriate symbol. So let us write down the chemical equation. Let me write for two equations. How we got calcium hydroxide and how we get the other thing, calcium carbonate. Okay, CaO, that is calcium oxide. When it is reacting with water, it is giving calcium hydroxide. This is balanced already. We have seen in our earlier class that this is a balanced equation. Now, in our question, they are asking that this calcium hydroxide is reacting and giving a white color to the wall. Okay, let us write down that. CaOH taken twice. When it is allowed to dry, that means it is reacting with what? With carbon dioxide that is present in the air. And it is giving calcium carbonate, CaCO3. This is the one which is giving white shiny finish to the wall. Okay, white shiny finish to the wall. What is this? This is calcium carbonate. Let me write it down. Calcium carbonate. Okay. Along with that, what else is formed? Small droplets of water also is formed. Right? Now, this is the chemical equation. Let us see whether this equation is balanced or not. Right? So, what do? We will write down the elements that are present in the chemical equation. Calcium is present, carbon is present, then hydrogen is present and oxygen is present. Left hand side and right hand side. How many calciums are present here? 1 on left hand side. On right hand side also it is 1. Carbons, how many are there? Here it is 1. Here also it is 1. Okay, carbon it is 1 and 1 here, right? So let me write down carbon 1 and carbon 1. Let us check the hydrogen. Hydrogen here it is in the bracket. So this 2 tells that hydrogen is 2 because it's as a subscript, right? So hydrogen are 2. All these are number of atoms present of that element. Okay. Then come and check to the right hand side. Here also they are 2. Now see the oxygen. Brackets. In the brackets, we see that oxygen O is present and it is enclosed in the brackets 2. So it is 2, 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 means how much? 4. So how many oxygens are there on the left hand side? 4. This side we have 3 oxygens plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. So it is a balanced equation. See, you have to do nothing, but you have to check whether it's a balanced equation or not. Equation which is not balanced, we call it as a skeletal equation. Now, why should we balance a equation? We have a answer here. Okay, why the equation have to be balanced? According to law of conservation of mass. According to law of conservation of mass, the total mass of the products formed in a chemical reaction must be equal to the total mass of reactants consumed, right? So mark this answer from here to here. Why a chemical equation should be balanced? Write down the question here. Why chemical equation should be balanced? So when the question is this, where from we will mark the answer? According to law of conservation of mass, the total mass of the products formed in a chemical reaction must be equal to the total mass of the reactants consumed. Okay. After that, in continuation, as per law of conservation of mass, the number of atoms of each element before and after reaction must be same. So, all chemical equations must be balanced because atoms are neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. Till here, right? What is a balanced equation? So, till here is your answer for which question? This question. So, when a question is asked why a chemical equation should be balanced, our main key point is law of conservation of mass. All these are the explanation to the law of conservation of mass. Next question is, what is a balanced equation? What is a balanced equation? Your answer will start from here. What is a balanced equation? A chemical equation in which number of atoms of different elements on the reactant side, that is LH side, we just now checked, and product side, they are same. Then we call it as balanced equation. That means here see, calcium on the left hand side and right hand side, they are same. So number of atoms on left hand side and the right hand side, that is on the reactant side, this is the reactant side. On the reactant side and on the product side, when they are same, what are we calling it as? Balanced equation. What are we calling it as? Balanced equation. So that will be your answer for the question, what is balanced equation?